Trustworthy and reliable, intelligent, autonomous systems. Trias. If you want to know what that means, stick around. So you want a crypto? I'm Joe. I'm not your financial advisor, but I am your host. And today, we're going to dig into Trias, Trias. Hot new project. It's all over. People are talking about it. You know, is it up to the hype? Is it just another passing fad? I think that's something we're going to talk about. And in my research, I dug up an old favorite that looks like it has some significant ties in the NFT sector for Trias. So stick around for that. All right, remember, like, subscribe, comment. Here we go. Don't you hate it when you can't trust your machines? I'm looking at you, Skynet. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Trias is going to help you fix that problem. Lifelike robots joke about taking over the world. That's a little creepy, but they say that humans are not the most ethical creatures. I'll have to agree there. They also predicted that robots will be able to do every human job in the very near future. I come from a background of subsea deep water robotics, remotely operated vehicles. I know a little bit about machines doing human jobs, and it's an amazing market and it's a crazy world. So Trias, trustworthy and reliable, intelligent, autonomous systems. Trias is a full-stack, decentralized, trusted cloud infrastructure and ecosystem for all-scale, general-purpose, and enterprise-ready applications. Yeah, that's cool, but what does it really do? The vision that they have, basically what they want is the core. They want to solve the core trust issues, where they can root the trust into machines with firm assurance that the machines will deterministically do what they have been told to do, right? You do this, and that's what your job is, right? And we want to be able to trust that for all devices everywhere. And the team, this thing is, man, there's a lot of battery power on this one. Strong team, a lot of PhD, 20 plus PhDs and master graduates, 50 plus engineers. I'm telling you, this thing is a think tank. 70 plus members, but there's like Oxford, yeah, quite a few educational facilities as well. So here's some use cases and clients. Finance, smart cities, commodities. Here you go. Here's some of your academic advisors. Just as a short little cheat sheet. We're going to dig a little deeper. Here we go. University of Oxford, University of Oxford, University of Oxford, Peking University. And I don't think I'd be able to pronounce most of your names, so I'm not even going to insult trying right now. So you can thank me for that. Ecosystem. The whole ecosystem includes chain developers and operators and service providers, developers, security. I mean, this thing it's been around. It started basically in probably like the worst time. It didn't have a whole lot of support in the beginning. It took a while to get a little traction and gain some ground. And one of the coolest things, and probably like, it has a very small public investor, 6%. The rest is like seed investors, the foundation, ecosystem, team, early supporters, mining, marketing, and so on. But just a very 6%, that's it, for public investors. Here we can see the roadmap. It's kind of hard to make out. It's a little small print, but for 2021 quarter 2 right here, we have the Magcarta 1.0 and Trias 3.0 testnet launched, and then it's the quarter 4 of this year is the Trias 3.0 mainnet launch. Here's some links. And here's some numbers. Trias token, new $20.88, up 41%. Market cap, $33.4 million. That's it. 34. That's it. Small. And they're looking to bring in a lot of enterprise money on this, so I'm really bullish. This has got a lot of potential for growth. I haven't really verified the numbers to make sure, that they're 100% jiving, because this says we're 2 million of 10 million on circulating supply, and then when I go over here to CoinMarket, we got 10 million. So but they have only 1.6 million in circulating supply. So there is a little bit of discrepancy there, just so you know. Exchanges, KuCoin. That's basically what you got here for this one. Same thing over here. We got KuCoin. And these are your pairs, USDT and BTC. So, alright, and then there's $20.85 and $20.80. So a slight discrepancy there. But everything that's this thing they're both just parabolic, right? We've seen gains on these. Overview. 1,450% in the last month, 656% in the last 2 weeks, 150% in the last week, and 50% almost in the last 24 hours. And it's only just begun, man. It's only trustworthy and reliable, intelligent, autonomous systems. Here is the Trias.one. And all platforms supported: server, PC, mobile, IoT, etc. Everything. Native application compatible smart contract execution platform, development framework, and collaborating ecosystem. Trias aims to define a new generation of all platform supported public chain systems. So everything, man, all platform. Trustworthy and reliable intelligence, autonomous systems make people trust in machines. Then they have Trias liquidity mining. Trias in a nutshell is what we started with. The Trias Grant, we'll get to that in a second. Trias NFT, and we get, as soon as you click on that, you get to the, one of our favorites, Dego Financ. Here's Dego Financ, just real quick. DEGO, $14.71. Ranked 449 on CoinGecko. About $80 million market cap. 19 million, 18.5 million in the last 24-hour trading volume. Max supply is 9.8 million. And here's your numbers, up about 26% in the last 14 days, and about even on the month. You can get this on KuCoin, Binance, a few others. It's not too hard to find. Alright, so back to this. So when you click this Trias, it'll take you right to Dego Financ. And it really doesn't give you much more than that right now, but that's pretty cool and pretty bullish right there. NFTs. Here's your economy, the rest of this. Here's the introduction, right? So when we dig into the white paper just a little bit, trusting machines will become a new fundamental need for humanity in the near future. Well, probably because they're going to be doing all of our jobs and all of our other little functions as well. Building the trustworthy and reliable IaaS, right? So, TRIAS. For the most time, we just kind of trust our machines by default. We trust that the internet's going to do what it's going to do. But you get burned along the way. Things don't do what they're supposed to do. So you look at something like Apple, and they use this example in the white paper here, where Apple's ecosystem sets a good example for implementing relatively trustworthy and reliable hardware and software systems. Apple employs secure hardware to strictly control the bootloading process of its operating system and its applications. They got a lot of different things that they control in-house very much, right? But that's really centralized, and that's not 100% what we want to do with this. But you get the idea. So their vision here at Trias is to build a trustworthy and reliable general purpose computation infrastructure where any system and software implement only expected behaviors. With Trias, we can root trust into machines with a firm assurance that the machines will deterministically do what they have been told to do. Trias builds an all-platform supported native application compatible smart contract execution platform, development framework, and collaborating ecosystem. And then here are the three subsystems. There is Leviatom, a network of trusted execution environments, TEEs, to achieve correct executions of general purpose software. Leviatom implements a heterogeneous consensus graph, HCGraph algorithm. And this is kind of similar to like a HCGraph or a DAG, the way I understand this. Algorithm which combines heterogeneous TEE technology, and here you go, we won't get too deep, and graph computing algorithms, here, similar to HashGraph or DAGs. And then the next one is Prometh, a traceable development framework to achieve decentralized functional and security properties. Definitions for general purpose software. Prometh genuinely records critical information for a piece of software's entire life cycle on the blockchain, including development, building, distributing, everything, right? So this is like a complete record. And further motivates the community to apply DevSecOps methodologies to enforce automatic and manual examinations or verifications on the recorded information for each critical step. This reduces the genuine properties of the software, which ensures any software to only implement their intended behaviors, so do what they're supposed to do, right? And then you have the MAG Carta, a consensus-oriented programming paradigm to achieve embedded and self-defined consensus strategy for high-order enterprise DApps. MAG Carta contract implements invocations to the Prometheus applications. It schedules the Prometheus applications on a Leviatom computing network to achieve high-order enterprise application logic. It also enforces self-defined consensus algorithm to define the correctness of each invocation. With MAG Carta, DApps can implement their own embedded consensus strategy and ledger structure, and they can also program the strategy to reward the computing infrastructures in Leviatom or the software components Prometheus contributors. So these three subsystems implement a separation of powers model, the Trias Politica. Separation of powers is a political theory for social governance. It advocates that powers of execution, legislation, and judiciary should be controlled by different organizations. We see this like in the United States, right? Leviatom is responsible for execution, which executes a sequence of programs. Prometheus is responsible for the legislation, which defines each program's functional and security properties, and MAG Carta is responsible for the judiciary, which determines the service quality and allocates all parties' interests. All right. Trias aims at embedding a much wider range of usage scenarios as it targets at bringing trust to general purpose software platforms instead of only to the ledger related applications, right? So we're moving past like the blockchain stuff, and we're going to a layer -1 enhancement to the public blockchain. So it's not, it's kind of, I've heard it called layer 0, or in here it's described as layer -1, but it significantly reduces the complexity for reaching consensus. More than 100,000 transactions per second for a single shard, and define near 90% malicious collaborative attacks are defended against, right? Consensus-oriented enterprise programming. MAG Carta allows dApps to delegate complex business logic and data collection procedure as trusted native applications. Trusted operating systems and application ecosystem. And then Trias eliminates easily the malware attacks, or malware and attacks, as Leviatom only allows the executions of whitelisted applications, similar to like what Apple does, right? You got to go through all their stuff, and by the time you get there, it's basically safe for their program, or safe for their platform. Trustworthy multi-party, I thought it said parity, computation. Trustworthy cloud computing platform. And it implements the development framework and application distribution channel, like an app store, for the cloud platform. And MAG Carta implements the SaaS logic to connect and schedule the Prometheus apps. This ubiquitous cloud platform links the small public clouds around the world who do not have enough scale. So if you're not big enough to get your own, this provides them with a trustworthiness endorsement and further implements a cross-border unified resource sharing, scheduling, and billing. So you can kind of get it all together, right? Here's Leviatom again. Instead of layering consensus acceleration techniques above the consensus layer, such as a layer 1 or a layer 2 improvement, Leviatom targets the performance issues by digging one layer below the consensus layer, a layer -1 enhancement. And this -1 layer enhancement focuses at constructing trust relationships among the voting nodes. Here's the HCGraph. It's backed by Trias founding team research in the Systems Security Group at the University of Oxford since 2011. So this is 10 years old. The basic idea of the HCGraph is to enforce mutual attestations, and gossip protocols among nodes, so they have collaboratively construct a web of trust, i.e. the Leviatom network. You know, this is a tough one to read right here. Coming out of some allergies, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm a little slow in the head today, I guess. A lot of math on this one too, if you're digging all that kind of stuff. But here you can kind of see the flow chart on this. and it digs into some of the other deeper features. But we talked about over 100,000 transactions per second in one shard, high stability, and then, you know, so on down the line. Here's your token economy, but really 6% to the public investors, really small. Roadmap again, we dig down here, but Prometheus Trias 3.0 mainnet launched 2021 Q4. Magcarta 1.0 and Trias 3.0 testnet launched Q2. So that's kind of the time frame that we're in right now. The core partners, IOTA Innovations, will provide technical research and marketing support for Trias. Its core members are mainly from Oxford University, Peking University, and top tech companies such as Microsoft, Alibaba, Didi, etc. Here's some published papers about all the different aspects if you want to dig into that. Again, all these links are always in the description below. I try to be as transparent with my research as I can. And if you like that and find value in that, remember, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell if you want to see these when I make them. There's a Trias Grant. So this Trias Grant aims to reinvent the crowdfunding model through Web 3.0 by supporting valuable projects and solving the lack of transparency and efficiency in early stage funding. The scope of funding includes, but is not limited to, Trias Eco projects. So if you're doing something within the ecosystem of Trias, fintech innovations, disruptive fintech innovations are always a hot trend, philanthropic deeds, and other academic research. If you want to apply, you want to check into this, here's the link. Looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. What kinds of projects does this grant cover? Good eco projects supported by the Trias technology, fintech initiatives, philanthropic deeds, such as mass donations or NFT souvenir distribution, and academic research. Currently, more research collaborations with the Oxford Lab are in discussion. And if you'd like to figure out how you could launch projects here, initiate a plan, and wait to be voted. We see there's also all Trias holders can initiate funding plans through the Trias DAO, and approved projects can launch a grant pool on the Trias Grant and receive financial support from the Trias community and Trias Foundation. So let's look at some numbers on Trias USDT. And right now we saw pretty good growth and, you know, a little bit of a red candle here, but that's not too bad. I think that if you're looking at this, I would look at it as at least a long-term investment. They've been around for 10 years already, so I think they're going to make it. With this bull market, you know, we got to make sure we don't have blinders on too. When you're looking at projects, look for some long-term stuff that's going to have long-term potential, and I think that this is one that definitely is right there. So, yeah, mad growth right off the bat. We're looking at $20.85 at $42 million market cap. That's it. I mean, if it 10x's, you're looking at a $200 Trias token. I don't even think that that's going to be a question, honestly. In the very near future, I think you could see $200 on this, probably no problem. And I mean, I'm hoping on it, you know. I just bought a tiny little bit, but I think I'm gonna maybe look at some more of this. And KuCoin is where I did my shoppings. So Trias, and we're talking, they want to look at overall ecosystem of everything, all platforms. So what is that worth? That's a lot of money. So how do you value this in the cryptocurrency space? You know, we're talking IOTA and all the other kind of stuff. I don't know. Should we look at maybe like IOTA and see where that takes us? So let's go to IOTA. You know, just for the. And IOTA is sitting right now at almost a $6 billion market cap, right? So if we're looking at a $6 billion market cap with them and only a $33 million market cap here, and I know it's not the greatest 100% best comparison, but you know, we're just throwing something out there. 10x is 300 million, 100x is 3 billion. So I mean, you take that walk on your own, all right? Yeah, I think this thing has mad potential. So I was looking through some tweets and stuff on Twitter, and I stumbled across this one right here by, it looks like King B. 12 years of development, okay. Ties with Huawei via patent US 8413147. So I just did my best Google search on that, and I came up with a patent that's close, but it has a B Bravo 2 at the end of this, and it's for a method or an apparatus and a system for making a decision about virtual machine migration. Includes a source host platform configured to send a migration request to a migration authority and to migrate the virtual machine to a target host platform according to received migration decision making result. Anyway, you can dig through this and look at it. I did see the Huawei part and some of the others, but it might be above my pay grade. So if someone sees the connection here, put it in the comments below and let everybody else know. That would be pretty big if this thing's on Huawei. So at the end, here's a little link to on Trias Foundation will make use for the Trias DAO of existing resources to promote ecological construction in order to avoid occupying the dominant and central position in a large proportion. Anyway, Trias has a DAO. Just check into it if that's what you're into. I'm not going to read all that. Been doing too much of the readings. So yeah, man, Dego. That was my thing, is when I was digging in here and I was like, ooh, NFTs, let's check this out. And as soon as you click that, boom, Dego. See, I proved it right there. Big things coming this way. All right, what do you guys think, man? I like Trias. I think it's cool. I do. I think it's got a lot of potential. And, I think the next couple months have a lot of potential too. So once, this altcoin season really kind of hits the next gear and we kind of see where we're going, and some people are talking about maybe this just is like a super cycle, or maybe we're going to change the way that the cycles are, because there's always the potential of that, because this whole market's been really cyclic. It's kind of got like a 4-year cyclic thing, and maybe we're going to break that, or maybe we're going to see something completely new where maybe Bitcoin kind of starts to plane out and just has like a slow steady growth, and Ethereum starts to flip it, or who knows. There's a lot of potential, a lot of big projects also coming out that could completely just destroy all of that along the way too. So you never know, man. All right, cheers. Hope you like this, and we'll get to it.